And welcome back to the Sports Wrap, joined now by Nick Friar talking Red Sox. You can read him New Bedford Standard Times and listen to him on WSAR Radio. All right, let's start with David Price in Pawtucket. This was going to be great for the fans of McCoy, and the weather didn't cooperate. So he throws a simulated game inside the batting cage. He said it went pretty well. He'll throw again next Friday before potentially returning to the Red Sox. What does today's outing, so to speak, with McCoy do for his comeback?
Well, I mean, it does a lot, hopefully. I mean, he's the one telling everybody that he did well. You got to take him at his word, I guess. Sure. It would be nice if he played in an actual game. Hopefully he'll get that chance next time around in Buffalo. But because when you throw a simulated game against your own teammates or guys within the organization, Swihart is a former teammate of his. He was involved in that. It doesn't really do the same thing. You don't have the adrenaline pumping. You're not going necessarily as hard. As much as he's trying to go hard, it's just got a different feel from it. So hopefully he gets out there the next time, and then we'll see that difference.
Do you think the one game in Buffalo Friday will be enough for him to just then come back with Boston?
I think so. I mean, as long as he does well enough, as long as he's able to make it through his whole start without any issues, because then, you know, he'll have that in-game experience. He'll be ready to go regarding that. And I think his arm strength, from what we've heard and what we've seen, is kind of there. So now we just need to see how it reacts in a game.
And the Red Sox could use him in the rotation because Drew Pomeranz leaving today's game, dealing with that tricep that has kind of plagued him throughout this year. Are you worried about Pomeranz staying in the rotation long term?
Yeah, because he's always had little injuries here and there, and it takes him out a few days. Now, he had the tricep issues in spring training. However, he bounced back and made his next start. So hopefully this isn't too big of an issue, but I'm always worried with him, especially after that whole stem cell injection that he had in the offseason. So we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, Pomeranz is a guy who, you know, can't make it past the sixth inning in a start. As much as he does fine sometimes, he always is like an injury away, a little thing away from being removed.
All right, today's Red Sox game, a little frustrating against the Rays. A lot of runners left on base. They couldn't get that clutch hit. What'd you make of today's game?
Disappointing, you know, to go against the Rays, who are beneath you in the standings. I know that, you know, in the division they're all good teams and they're always competing heavily, but you got to be able to take care of teams who aren't doing as well as you are. So for the Rays to be able to come in and control the game, especially from the pitching side, it's disappointing.
All right, so 19 and 18, they're off tomorrow. They have a road trip, St. Louis and Oakland, hovering around that 500 mark, you know, a month plus into this season. Are they going to string some wins together, or is this what they are, a 500 team?
I hope so. I mean, you got Benintendi, who's slumping lately. Jackie Bradley Jr. has had a lot of trouble. As much as Chris Young has kind of picked up the slack in that regard, they're having issues. You know, in the pitching staff, Rick Porcello is another guy. He's done well against everybody except for the Rays. They own him this year. He has as many runs against the Rays given up as he does against everybody else in the league, 11.
Yeah.
So it's remarkable, but yes, it's a little concerning that they're right around 500. You know, you don't want to see them get below that because that little bit can affect morale immensely. But I think in the long term, we're just seeing the Red Sox kind of battle injuries. Hanley's had issues, now Pomeranz. So I think once they kind of get that together, they'll move in the proper direction.
All right, finally, Derek Jeter, the #2 jersey and the pinstripes, retired at Yankee Stadium tonight. The best Yankee of this generation, or the one most associated with that run of World Series championships. What do you remember most about Derek Jeter?
God, I remember just every time the Yankees came to town as a kid, you know, it's time for Jeter to shine, and everybody loves Jeter. You know, I was a Nomar fan growing up, like most of us, and you know, I always argued with kids who are Yankees fans about Nomar being better than Jeter. And obviously, look, I got to give Jeter credit, as much as it kind of hurts me. He was the best of the three, and that includes A-Rod, because Jeter's record was clean, and the dude was a hard worker, and he was successful. So I give him credit where credit's due, as much as this is killing me to say right now.
I think Nomar at his peak was better than Jeter, like 97 to 2000.
Yes,
but Jeter also played 20 years and was...
Yeah, Nomar also had, you know, some rumors about him. You know, he was a little bit bigger, you know, so Jeter never had that. And got to give him credit.
You know, I mentioned this earlier, the single digit, you know, Ruth's 3, DiMaggio, Mantle, they're all single digits. So that's pretty cool.
The Yankees are running out of numbers to retire. numbers to wear, for that matter.
Yeah, and he'll have his monument in Monument Park there outside of center field. All right, Nick Friar, good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have much more from the Sports Wrap coming up right after this.